Hi, everyone. Welcome back to our second keynote of GirlCon 2022. We are so excited to introduce Joy. Joy is deeply passionate about empowering underrepresented people in entertainment and technology. As a celebrated voiceover artist and storyteller, she has drawn over 10 million views to her original digital comedy content and countless more to inclusion-centered marketing campaigns globally. She holds a Master of Science in Marketing from Santa Clara University and a Bachelor of Arts in Communication from the University of Southern California.
Yeah, thanks, Prachi. And previously, Joy has spoken through many brands, including Facebook, Star Wars, Thread UP, and NAACP Image Awards. And her work has been featured on the Los Angeles Times, Adweek, Afrotech, Refinery 29, Deadline, Afropunk, and more. To learn more about Joy, go to joyofudu.com. And without further ado, please welcome Joy.
Oh, hey, GirlCon. Can y'all hear me? Am I good? Okay, let's get this thing going. This is not going to be your average keynote speech. Today, I want to talk to you about good decisions. We're going to have a conversation, okay? Nobody fall asleep on me, all right? Wherever you might be listening to this, I recognize that you are here because you have a huge set of decisions to make. I know you do. You have decisions that are going to impact the trajectory of the rest of your life, maybe for yourself, for your immediate family, or for generations to come. We always have decisions in front of us. I think about my undergraduate and graduate experiences at the University of Southern California, right on, and Santa Clara University as very much that for me, a time of decision making. And I hope that the next 20, 30 minutes that we spend together can inspire you to look forward to your opportunities and to the decisions that you have to make with giddy eagerness instead of anxiety or fear. But we don't know a lot about each other, you and I, so allow me to tell you more about myself. My name is Joy Ndidiamaka Ofodu. I am the Creative Executive Officer, or CEO, at Joy Ofodu LLC, where I am reactivating my childhood dreams of becoming a professional actor more than 15 years after my very first audition. As a voice actor, I currently lend my voice to video games, national and international commercials, animated short films, and my creator business, Joy Ofodu, has partnered with Adult Swim, Netflix, LinkedIn, Anima Iris, DirecTV, and more just this year in 2022. As a writer, I'm working on true-ish stories spanning an upcoming podcast, comedy content, novel, and several short films. I also have a full-time job in technology that I somehow balance with all of this. How did we get here? Let's start with college. I will never forget the very first college that I researched. I remember walking up to my very Nigerian mom. I had this presentation on why I was a future A-list actress, dancer, model, triple threat, and I should be able to apply, because I needed permission to apply, how I should be able to apply to the American Music and Dramatic Academy. And I had this 16-slide PowerPoint. She heard out my entire presentation on how and why I should be following in the footsteps of Jason Derulo and other American legends. And as an immigrant kid, as any immigrant kid in here might imagine, shout out to all my immigrant kids, my mom was not having it. So I went back to the drawing board. She laughed me off. I went back to the drawing board and I discovered academic topics like communication, marketing, and Spanish. And that's what I ended up studying at USC. These were some of the best decisions and discoveries of my life. I had no idea that losing sleep in high school over AP Lit homework would prepare me to write copy for companies like Sony and Lucasfilm. I spent long nights in the library in high school, but this prepared me for research at the Annenberg Inclusion Initiative, and that research is cited in The Hollywood Reporter, CNN, Time, Fortune magazine, and more. I also developed a love of photography in high school that was then powered by Costco cameras, but this would later lead me to shoot with DSLRs, take red carpet photos of executives, celebrities, and these have gone viral online at Refinery 29, Washington Post, LA Weekly, and more, baby. My work is global, okay? I went from studying Spanish in high school to presenting at USC's first undergraduate research forum for Spanish and also teaching Spanish to third graders in Los Angeles, right? Now in my adulthood, I've been able to live out of Mexico City for a week with an entirely Spanish speaking production crew, right? As well as have roles at companies like ThreadUp, Facebook, NAACP Image Awards, and Instagram, where I was hired to take on a full-time job after graduation before my senior year even began. How did all of this happen? I believe not just faith, trust, and pixie dust, but the decisions that I made in undergrad, they helped me seize my time, right? They helped me seize these virtual days in any way that I want. So as you are navigating high school, as you're in college, or you're in the working world and beyond, I want to talk to you GirlCon goers, okay? I want to talk about the decisions that you can make to empower the future you. All right, so pens out, notebooks out, computers, or just even get those brains plugged in. Take a good deep breath for me in through the nose and out through the mouth. Yep, thank you. I see some of y'all indulging. Let's get it. The first is tap into home. So when I was one of 4 or maybe the only Black woman in a lecture hall of 100 or 200 people, I really came to a realization like, wow, I miss home. I miss my Nigerian American community. I'm at this huge university performing research, attending red carpets with a bougie lifestyle, but I felt alone and incomplete. So I had to make a conscious decision to involve myself in the Black community, in my community, give that head nod to everybody on campus. And I became the communications coordinator of African American Cinema Society for 3 years, where I'm still to this day in my adulthood meeting the filmmakers and the screenwriters of the films that we screened during my time in college. I went from writing and researching movies to attending the Black Panther world premiere and bringing my friends along as we met the late Chadwick Boseman and Lupita Nyong'o. It's just better to do things with your community, with your home, with your people. Other good decisions that I'm going to pass to you as the next generation of young women leaders across business. The best decision that you can make is to listen to your body. Okay? If I had had a mind about me, I would have listened to my body, truly prioritize myself and my health over work, over classes, over events, over boys because they're really not that cute, over commitments, over hanging with girlfriends. It is the singular regret that I have that I didn't prioritize my health. And I think sometimes we don't talk about burnout. We don't talk about that long running feeling of just being at the end of your rope because it's very embarrassing and difficult. But I'm here to tell you that burnout is preventable. I had a number of people looking out for me in high school and in college, and they advised me to put myself first. I can still hear them loud and clear, but nothing was worth sacrificing my health. And unfortunately, some of those negative decisions that I made to put the work, the assignment, that essay over my health, those 20 or so gigs that I thought, oh, I can just squeeze these in before the end of putting those above my health has long-term repercussions that I'm still dealing with. So I'm really, really grateful to USC, to Santa Clara, right, for giving me spaces and places to fail repeatedly and figure it out because I was burning out on a cycle every couple of months. Now I'm happy to report it has been 7 months between burnouts. And I hope that those stretches keep getting longer and longer. I want a year, 5 years in between burning out. But for those of you that are struggling with it right now, I promise you that listening to your body is the best decision that you can make. Take that day off, look for that week off, drop that one activity because you come first. Okay? Okay, good. Next decision is to accept that your story is still being written. It's really okay to be nervous as you're going through these decisions. Nothing prepares you for this conflicting feeling you have of being free, but also displaced, of feeling like melancholy, but also sometimes like security, accomplishment, and then emptiness. It's like this awesome, terrifying season of unprecedented growth as you go from high school to college to the working world and beyond. And everything about me was tested. My values, my heart, my knowledge, my strength. I had to come up with new rituals, new outlooks on life, new solutions. And I wasn't the person I was when I entered college and left, when I started grad school and ended, when I started working into where I am now, 5+ years into my career. So please accept that the story of you, the things that you think you are good at, right? The things you love to do, things you can't get enough of, things you're sick of. Understand that that story is always changing and developing. You are going to continue to hear your adult voice, the girls of GirlCon. You're going to hear that voice speak to you and whisper to you. You are entitled to change your mind, to switch up, to be brand new, to nourish yourself, feed yourself, oblige yourself. Figure out why you keep waking up every morning. Whatever that thing is, keep doing that, right? But accept that your story is still being written. Nothing about you is in pen. Nothing about you is final. Okay. Next is to leverage the city and the internet around you. It is much easier to get the resources and access that you need to create as an innocent student than when you're a hungry adult. I promise. Okay. You go up to people like, hi, I'm a student and I was wondering if I could get 20 minutes of your time. Wink, 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 wink. People will listen. Put your work out there for people to see digitally, verbally. Stay intellectually curious. Hold your creative aspirations as high as your career aspirations if they aren't linked. This is the time for you to make the best art of your life. There are no rules, right? Support each other because you're really all that you have. Connect with the girls here at GirlCon. Shake hands or emails or elbows or whatever it is that we're doing in person now with all of the people that you meet. And leverage the city and the internet around you. Talk to local business owners, talk to your family, write down their histories, talk to your neighbors. When I was in university, we were working on each other's films, right? And we were working on each other's tracks and production sets and galleries. Some people met their fiancés in those environments. Some people met their forever friends. I know I did. There are people that I collaborated with in college that I'm still very, very close with today, both personally and professionally. Now we get money together. So know that the internet and the cities around you are the perfect places to dive in. I don't care how big, how small, how traversable, how inaccessible these places can seem. They're really not. Everyone is one email pitch away. And when you're a student, it's much more likely that you're going to get that yes. All right. I made these decisions, 4 or 5 of them, right, to encapsulate a set of like thousands. But through these decisions, I found my place at USC and at Santa Clara University. I learned who I was as a Black woman, as a person in the United States, as a God-fearing Nigerian daughter, and I had to reconcile all of these identities. It took time. It took time, and I am still working on it today. I'm a forever student. But I just went through a year of grad school while working full time and creating. I had a creative platform where there were about 6,000 followers, right, on Instagram to now over 72,000, right? And many more on TikTok, over 150,000 people following me across platforms and 12 million views later because I'm openly sharing, telling my story about dating, about creating, about good decisions and bad decisions. But years later, I'm stronger and smarter than I ever realized. And I have the language that I need to spark conversations on dismantling oppressive structures, on shouting and crying out my joy, on using the internet as a force for good. I've done my research to support my mission of empowering girls and women of color through the media, technology, and entertainment. And that's what brought me to you. So I have a sense, and I've always had a sense, that I belong wherever I am, right? When I was at USC, Santa Clara, working in technology on these red carpets, I always felt like I did not have to sacrifice or give up a single part of myself to fit in. And I want the same for all of you. So no matter what your adulting journey might look like, no matter what big, scary, insurmountable decisions are ahead of you, I want you to remember a couple things. One, it's always darkest before the dawn. So those moments where you feel like I have no idea how I'm going to get through it. I don't know what's on the other side. I can't see the light at the end, because we've all been there. Know that it's like Florence Welch says, it's always darkest before the dawn. Right? It's got to be dark before something bright comes. If you are in your dark season, if you're in your Kermit hooded frog season right now, if you fighting demons right now, you battling right now, just know that the dawn is coming. And next, know that you are enough. You are smart enough. You are good enough. You are strong enough. And these proverbial people, the people around you, your community, your culture, your history, your circumstances. They do not get to decide where you belong. Okay? You do. You do. So good luck with all of the decisions that you have to make. Y'all gonna get me teared up over here at GirlCon. We not gonna have it. I see that a bunch of affirmations and questions have been coming in, so I want to address a couple of them in these last couple of minutes that we have together. Okay. The first question is, if there is one piece of advice you could give your younger self, what would it be? I was so impatient when I was younger. Like I told you, I wanted to be this actress, right? I wanted to be on High School Musical and Disney, and I felt like this entertainment world that I wanted to be a part of so badly that I'm deeply invested in now, right? I'm almost not getting turned away or getting no's in this moment. All these doors are flinging open to me as an adult, but as a kid, I wanted in and I wanted to be there. I would just tell my younger self that, like, it's coming, you know? That's what I think I mentioned to you all about your story not being finished yet. It is coming to you. It's okay. Okay? It's all coming to you. Are we good on connection? Saw a little blip? No, we're good. Okay, awesome. Next question is, what does a typical work day look like for you? Also, sorry, y'all. Have I been coming in real hot on the mic? My bad. What does a typical work day look like for me? I wake up around 9, 10. Thank God that I'm alive. Stretch, pray. I think I like to start my morning with a little creativity. So usually my dreams send me something that I want to act on. I'll create a short skit right before diving into my full-time job. During lunchtime, maybe answer a couple creator-related emails. You know, maybe I'm in the middle of pitching a brand partnership, or I'm responding to some feedback from a voiceover audition, right? Or searching up like a new casting call. Then I dive right back into my workday. In the evening, before I transition into creating or working or what have you, I really like to take a breather. So that could be hopping on a Clubhouse and like talking with my friends in like a social audio space. It could also be updating my website, or just like, I don't know, something that's like a little bit more lo-fi. You know what I'm saying? Maybe listen to like a fictional podcast, go pick up PR packages, stretch, actually take a walk outside, right? Like get a good 1 hour, very, very leisurely mile in or a leisurely 4 miles in an hour. And that's kind of what I do to separate my working day from my creative day. Archery is something I'm really into, and the weather has thankfully been heating up. So I'll have like a really good archery moment or get some food in me. After that transition point, then I typically dive back into email. I'm an email warrior in good times. I really like to be on it. Scheduling any travel that I might have for upcoming conferences, events, or bookings. I have an assistant who is amazing. So I like to confer with my assistant and text her. And again, I just feel the evenings are really like my catch-up time, my administrative time. And then I like to use daylight hours to actually film, create, edit, or write. So that's kind of a typical day for me. I might hop in the voiceover booth and record like meditations or other work for clients in the evening whenever I feel like it, but typically get to bed and get like 7 to, if I can, 9 hours of sleep. That's my favorite, and that's a typical work day. I think there's a lot that is mentally demanding, so I'm very protective over my space, over what I do online, with who, the messages that I respond to. I open my phone and have way more many sessions during a day than I'm proud of, but as long as I can get my rest, get my meals in, and play, it is so important to me to play. I think as adults or young adults, we don't always think about playing. Like, we're like, well, that's for kids, but you should have something in your day that feels like totally silly and playful. I have found that helps me balance the seriousness of everything going on as an adult. Who is someone that I look up to? Oh, wow. I mean, I look up to a lot of people. I look up to my friends. I think that there's like a pretty traditional view of idols or people you aspire to or role models, right? But I consider the people who are around me making, my friends who just got promoted at Billboard, or are, working actors and returning to their craft as screenwriters, or just won competitions, or failed, and are finally pivoting. Like, I look to the people in my life who are just moving and shaking as people that I look up to. I have traditional career role models, if that's who you're looking for. And I would say that those people for me are certainly like Issa Rae as a really great model, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Sierra. The reason I choose those three folks, and I go to them pretty often, is there's three entertainers, right, who they're not just household names or they're popular or what have you, but they have like a pretty clear set of values, of personal and professional boundaries. They're really, really open about what drives them or their faith or their routine, and they share that with everyone. And then when it comes to actual work, right, so going beyond, the family model, whether they decide to share it or not, Sierra on the far end of sharing and maybe Issa on the private end of sharing, they have a company structure that is multifaceted, that allows them to be actors or performers, right, or voice actors. So both Issa and Dwayne are voice actors, live action actors in their own productions, money to fund original productions for others, branded partnerships and collaborations with banks. The Rock has Under Armour. He has his own brand Zoa. He's got a spirits brand. He's got clothing, fitness. Like, it's just this like wide ranging thing. But then again, also putting in money to like do good and to fund others' productions. LeBron James in that way with Uninterrupted. Like, I really, really value celebrities and entertainers who also have media companies and production companies and arms, and are continuing to fund artists and other creators in new productions. So I look up to them in a career sense and also in a family sense. I think it's incredible to be a woman like Sierra, who really, you don't know what is going on behind closed doors, but you could say that, she has it all, right? And so this idea that as girls and women, we have to choose to be, to be family women, right? And to be mothers, if that's the path you're looking at, or to be career women. And someone like Sierra, right, is both. And so that's like what I aspire to for myself. I aspire to be a woman who's very much steadfast about her family. One of my life goals is to be a mother. Like, above all else, I want to be a mom. I want to be a wife. I want to take care of a home. In that kind of like traditional worldview, but that's something I want so bad. I don't need it now. Again, I've learned patience, but in the trajectory of my life, that's something that I really, really aspire to do and look up to doing. So whenever people are like, "Oh, you'd be a great mom," I'm like, "Oh my God, thanks." But also to be a boss, right? And to be an executive. I'm a content executive right now, and funding productions and hiring actors and writing contracts and selling IP. So also really, really proud of myself in this moment. Okay, the next question I have is, how did you know you wanted to build this career and brand for yourself? What sort of action steps did it take? I love that question because I'm all about my actionable steps. When I was little, I knew that I wanted to be an entertainer. So I talked to you all about that just a bit ago, but I think there's an idea of like, I have a story to tell that no one else can, right? Which is, it's very different than I want to be in a movie or I want to be on TV. I've got this tool in my hand of my phone, and on it, I can produce whatever kind of story, whatever kind of content that I want. I can craft my own narrative. And that fascinates me. Like, as someone who's consistently speaking to themselves in their head, the idea that I can go onto my phone and whenever I feel like it, which is typically every 3 days, produce a new video and drop you into an original world of mine or a moment or a character of mine. I was like, nah, I need a brand for this. I need a space for this. And there's nothing better than my own name. I do think that there's room for me to extend and create other sub brands like the entertainers that I've mentioned have done. But right now my brand is Joyofodu. And in the past, like, she or Joy has been a techie, a woman in tech, has been a photographer, has been a speaker, right, delivering keynotes, has been an online course instructor, and a photographer, right, and a social media manager or assistant. And it's like, there's so many different roles circling within me. it's nice to do a little bit of focus and reconciliation. So when I came into producing content more seriously, going from on Instagram like 6,000 to 20,000 to 50,000 followers, I was like, let me apply the same marketing insights and expertise that I would to someone else's brand to my own. Let me treat myself the way I treat other people's brands. So the action steps for that was first, audit. I always encourage people, if you are building a brand, audit your presence. If it's a personal brand, where do you appear online? Google yourself, look at your name. You can take a workshop of mine about virtual visibility to learn more about this. And you can find out about this on my website or DM me or message me. But you really need to scan and see all the places that you appear online. Take note of it. Are there too many? Are they too disparate? Get professional photos, get professional videos, a professional bio, professional colors, logos, right? And get that kind of identity and package together so that it can spread across everything that you do. And then instead of trying to do 5 to 7 different things, try to focus on like 2 or 3. Instead of producing content about 18 different topics, produce about one main topic and then find the content pillars that go underneath that. So those are some of the action steps that I took for my voiceover and my comedy. And you can find out more about my 2022 goals on my website, on my partner page. Okay, I got a couple more questions. I'm gonna try to take them for time. Do you ever experience imposter syndrome? I see a couple like about this, and I get this a lot. Like, it's the imposter syndrome. How do you overcome it? Someone said something earlier that I thought was very poignant, which was like, do I have imposter syndrome, or do people tell me that I have imposter syndrome and now I think I have it? You know what I mean? Like, this idea of not belonging and not fitting in, it's almost like it's being reinforced by this question about how we experience and overcome imposter syndrome. I don't feel like an imposter anymore. I think I can pretty confidently say that. I feel like joy. I feel like myself. I feel very happy to finally be in this space where I'm getting yeses from companies and brands that I pitch and the spaces that I step into. I am well researched. I am very intelligent and I am prepared, right? I'm kind. I give to the universe and it's giving back to me. So I think I try to focus on those feelings and those energies. Like, it's really just karma. I am a good person who puts out good work. You know what I mean? And I take care of the community and I take care of myself and I put others on and I put myself on and I put my health first. And doing all of these things helps me, overcome those moments of like insecurity or doubt. And another thing too is like, imposter syndrome isn't something to just, I guess, like trudge through, just push through. Like, people tell you, oh, just get over it, just be confident, just walk in there and be a boss, put your hands on your hips and you'll be fine. It's like, it's not all about doing a superhero pose outside the interview room. Sometimes you need to acknowledge your fear. So that's what helps me. Like, if I feel uncomfortable, if I feel fearful, I will sit, acknowledge, and accept what I feel. And then what really helps me, not overcome it, I'm not hopping over it like a fence. I am moving with my insecurity. I'm moving with my fear, with my imposter syndrome. Is I will look at like my resume, or especially with my creative, I'll like go to Instagram and just like look at all of the videos that I've created. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm serious, y'all. You think I'm playing games? I will just sit. Can you see it? I will sit and scroll and be like, oh my goodness, like, look at all these videos that I've made. Look at these reels. Look at this work. Look at people's reactions. I'll read the comments. And that makes me feel so good about what I've done and what I'm doing in the world. So just go back and look at your work. If you're a visual artist, like you actually produce something, look at that. Just put it in front of you in the sunshine and just stare at it like, yeah, I made that. How do I create work-life balance? This phrase, I really, really struggle with this phrase, I promise. I used to think that work-life balance meant that at all times you feel balanced while dealing with work in life. So it's like a 50-50 thing. I've really, really started to revisit that. And now what I feel is that we have work and we have our personal lives. And especially in this like virtual environment, the two are always mixing. What I do is acknowledge that I'm not going to have it well balanced all the time. I may not even have it well balanced at most times, right? In certain seasons. So As long as I'm healthy, I'm putting myself first, I'm sleeping, I'm eating, I'm hygienic, I'm taking care of myself. Work-life balance to me looks like having aspects of, again, like play, right? As an adult, play, wonder, rest, curiosity, grind, a little bit of grind, right? Focus. Having those aspects throughout each day, not getting my whole to-do list done at the end of every day. That's not work-life balance. It's just having aspects of work and having aspects of the personal every day that I can, and acknowledging that it won't always be in a perfect balance. Sometimes it's going to tip. I'm going to have weeks or stretches where my room is a mess, right? And I haven't fully settled up, or weeks where it's like how it is now, where I'm like, hey, I'm doing all right. So I create balance for myself by adding activities that feed me academically, spiritually, professionally, community-wise, and, body or heart, right? Or whatever those other categories are, diversion. Add those things into each day and let each of those things be a part of each day, but recognize that it's not always going to be kept together. Okay, the final question I could take is, what would you say is the most rewarding part of my work for me? The most rewarding part of what I do as a creator is how I make people feel. So when I get a message that says, Joy, you inspired me to date. Again, you inspired me to put myself out there online. Because of you, I applied to this master's program. People doing things I didn't even do. Because of you, I am getting my MBA. I've decided to take a new look at how I approach school. I feel like I can be myself. Like, the reactions that what I'm putting out there is inspiring people to smile, to try again, to laugh, to have their anxiety decrease. I'm getting recognized on the streets. Y'all, I got recognized in Mexico. Someone recognized me in another country coming off an elevator who I had no connection with because of what I put out there. So that's the most rewarding part for me. Okay, GirlCon, it's been amazing to share and spend this time with you. I really, really encourage you, again, to make those good decisions, to forgive yourself when you make bad decisions, and to follow me if you are encouraged, entertained, or enlightened. I'm on all platforms at Joy Ofodu. That's JOYO, F as in Frank, ODU. You can find me on my website, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Twitter, saying a bunch of nonsense, or join my community on LinkedIn, where I share resources with students, girls, women, and young professionals. Thank you so much for having me here, and I hope you have a good one. Bye.
Thank you so much, Joy, for your wise words. You have been such an inspiration, and I hope everyone enjoyed today's keynote. Remember that tomorrow we have Katie Cook coming to speak, and this live stream will begin at 5:30 CST. So we hope to see all of you there.
Yeah, just echoing Prachi, listening to you was so inspirational. So thank you so much. And also make sure you're updated on your email and social media. We have lots of challenges. Yesterday was Word Bingo Wednesday, and today is Test It Thursday. So look out for all those BuzzFeed quizzes. And then tomorrow is Fight For It Friday. So make sure you're updated and you tag hashtag Grow to Glow and GirlCon Tech on all of your social media challenges. And we hope you're having fun so far. There are lots of breakout sessions and professional development sessions happening today and tomorrow. So we're hoping that you've enjoyed it so far. And if you have any questions, of course, feel free to reach out to us at GirlCon Tech on all social media platforms, or email us at team@girlcon.org. Thank you so much. Bye.